Hello everyone, my name is Alessandro. I'm originally from Italy, as you can probably guess from my accent. I'm an ex-Google and I'm the founder of Impssbl, which is a decentralized storytelling machine. Our call to adventure is to create the stories of the next 100 years. And we started from a super simple assumption, which we call the Mickey Mouse theorem, which is assuredly say that stories spill over. So Mickey Mouse was born on a piece of paper in 1928. And a century later, you can find it everywhere in video games, t-shirts, film series, and park themes. And same goes for other paper-born superheroes like Harry Potter or Iron Man. So what was unique about them? Well, they had an incredible story and they built an incredible community as well. And we've been talking about DAOs for 8 weeks now, and DAOs are in the end stories with communities. So who are we? We are a storytech network that builds decentralized autonomous stories, which means NFT media projects ranging from comic books to films that are co-owned and co-shaped by their communities. And everything we do is kind of divided in three main things. Number one is what we call original series, meaning that we decide both the visuals and the story. And an example that you can actually find in the chat is our second project, Muses, which is going to go live in 3 weeks, that celebrates a borderless, inclusive and unveiled female beauty. And the story component of the project is due to the fact that every single muse has a story, either AI or human written. And at the end of the project, we are making a graphic novel NFT that we give to the community so that you no longer only own an NFT, but also a piece of media built on top of it. Secondly, we build what we call the non-original series, meaning that we amplify other projects through stories and build narrative bridges among them. For example, one of our upcoming projects is it's an NFT animated series that answers a very, very simple question. What happens if a Bored Ape meets a CryptoPunk that meets a world of women in a dystopian New York City in 2300? And lastly, we have a third category, which is meta projects, which are not stories. They are new ways of telling stories altogether. And one of the upcoming meta projects, it's called Untold, which you also find in the chat. And it's a marketplace to create plots, story plots, using AI and mint them as NFTs. So in a way, it's a marketplace for story ideas. All of these projects that I just mentioned, they are pre-DAO. They are made to build the brand of the studio first. And we launched our first decentralized autonomous story called Proof of Story back in January, which attracted over 1,000 people at its peak. Muses, our second project, will launch 3 weeks from now, but our biggest milestone will be launching the Impssbl DAO in June. It will be regulated by an NFT subscription pass called the Impssbl Story Pass, which is a unique tailor-made AI-written story that will grant you access to the meta projects such as Untold, will give you pre-sale access to every future project by Impssbl, and lastly, we'll let you mint a showrunner pass to decide the evolution of the plots of the individual media that we're going to be doing. Currently, we are looking to be joined by creators, in particular storytellers, storyboard artists, and visual designers. So if you're one of them, please feel free to reach out directly to me. And secondly, by community members, which can be honestly anyone interested in stories. And our call to action is join the Twitter and Discord of our next decentralized autonomous story, which is Muses, because it's the main gateway to Impssbl. And lastly, in the end, we are not only inventing new stories, we are inventing new ways of telling them. So who's the next superhero? Who's the next Harry Potter? Who's the next Mickey Mouse? Let's find out together. And why not let's make them together? Thank you.